Hey everybody, stick around because in this video, we're talking about preps for your car. Thanks for clicking on this video and joining me. You know, there's a very popular subject on social media and on YouTube videos referring to something called everyday carry or EDC. And basically what that is things that you carry with you on an everyday basis. Usually it's a discussion of things that you carry in your pockets. And that, coupled with all the conversation about things like bug out bags, get home bags, inch bags, this bag and that bag, not a whole lot of people are discussing what could be the most important prep that you have on hand. Now, if you're preparing for the end of the world or something like that, then this may not mean a whole lot to you, but I strongly believe that the most likely scenario that any of us are going to encounter where we might need our preps could be as simple as being stuck in your vehicle for a couple of days. Now, we've all heard the stories about the guy that went out with his dog and got stuck in a winter storm and had to survive for several days in his car. And what he ended up having to resort to was eating things like Taco Bell sauce packs. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm stuck in my car for a few days, I'd like to have something more than some sauce packs to keep me going. Now, it's one thing to talk about things like what you can put in your pocket or what you can put in a backpack, but think for a minute about all the things that you could put in your car to help you survive in a bad situation. Now, I can think of a number of scenarios for why you might need these kind of preps. Maybe you're on a road trip and you lose control of your vehicle and go off the road and you can't get to help. Maybe you've been injured, or maybe somebody with you has been injured and you can't leave the car. Or maybe there's a natural disaster that leaves you stuck on a highway. Maybe it's something very simple, like there's a natural disaster and you're stuck in a small town that doesn't have any of the things that you need to get by. I put a lot of thought into preparing my vehicle for me to have to possibly survive for a couple of days if I'm not willing or able to hike out. We're going to discuss this in two parts. The first one, I'm just going to show you the things that I keep in my vehicle for everyday use. This is my everyday ride, so the things that I have in here are with me pretty much everywhere I go. And then for the second video, we're going to explore the bag that I keep in back that goes a little deeper into the things that I might need. Your car is a great place to keep things because it's not subject to the restrictions of something like a backpack or what you can put in your pocket. It can carry a whole lot more weight and therefore you can keep more stuff. The trick to it is keeping it in a way that it's not intrusive when you're driving your car or when you're using it for everyday uses. All right, so let's kick off this tour and see what I've got. So right off, one of the first things you're going to see is these vent covers that I've got over the windows. I've got these on all four doors, and there's a reason I put these on here. So the reason that I chose to put these on here are that in the event that I'm stuck having to stay in my car, I want to be able to keep fresh air inside without the risk of it filling up with rain. These little vent covers will allow me to put about a 3-inch gap at the top of the window without the risk of it raining inside the vehicle. My vehicle is a 2015 Toyota RAV4. It's red. It's not tan or gray or black. It's not set up to look tactical or anything like that. And one of the great things about that is that it doesn't make this vehicle stand out. It doesn't make it look like a target. You know, you can have your battleship gray truck with all of the black racking and everything on it. The problem is, though, especially in an area like mine, that's going to make it a target for thieves. People are going to break in there because they're going to think there's going to be firearms and things like that inside of it. So I kind of like having a vehicle that's a little more on the subtle side. All right, so opening up the car, we're going to look down in the door pocket here. One of the first things you're going to see is that I've got a knife in here, and I have a emergency tool in here that will break glass, cut seat belts. And I can use this either if I'm in an accident or if I come across an accident and somebody else needs help. I also have a survival grenade. It used to hang from my rearview mirror, but I ended up with so much stuff up there that it was just becoming a distraction. And if you know anything about these, you know they're just kind of full of survival gear. And it's wrapped in paracord. Moving inside the car. So up here you'll see I've got like a bottle of sanitizer and a little multi-tool. I've got my mask. One upside to the pandemic that we're dealing with right now is that everybody's pretty much going to have a mask in their car. So in the event of something, some kind of a disaster that creates like a cloud of ash, like 9/11, or if there's a volcano eruption, earthquake, something like that that kicks up a lot of stuff into the air, you're already going to have a mask in your car that you can put on, get fresh air. And moving into the console, of course, I always have the obligatory stash of napkins, rechargeable USB flashlight. This is a zipper pouch that contains a bunch of cables and things that you might need. Also have a solar powered charger that also has a flashlight on deck. So this can be used to charge cell phones and other devices like that. I have a tourniquet, some bug protection, a sharpening stone, a little bit more hand sanitizer, carabiner, and a small Bible because you never know just how bad things are going to get. So in my glove box, in addition to all the other random stuff that's in there, I have a bottle of Advil and a Gerber multi-tool. So that's it for everything that's up front. Now let's kind of look in the back. All right, so looking in the back, I've got a little solar panel with a rechargeable battery. Got a neck gaiter. There's an umbrella down here. You can't really see it, but then I've got this piece of rug that covers up something. There is my Jackery power station. If you don't know what that is, that's a whole video in itself. And then back here, behind this other seat, among all the other random things, my old Navy knife. And so now, we need to move into the back where the real magic happens. Not that kind of magic. Get your mind out of the gutter. So on the back, I have my zombie permit hunting sticker and a bumper sticker promoting our band. Go check out the band. So let's get under the hood, so to speak. All right, so as you can see, I prefer to keep everything under a cargo deck so it's not visible. Down here, I've got some ratchet straps that are tossed back here because I just used them and haven't put them away yet. I have this axe from one of my restoration projects. A pair of water shoes. I use those when I go camping. A pair of work gloves. Never underestimate the need for a good pair of work gloves in your car. Got my Striker cook pot. Nice heavy-duty field coat. Once again, that usually is in there for camping, but in a disaster, you can always use a coat. Got some isobutane fuel for my cook pot, my Gobi tripod, nice wool blanket. Great thing about a wool blanket is you can use it even when it's wet and it will still have warming properties to it. That's it, other than this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my drive out kit. And we will cover that in the next video. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these decks out of here. Use all the junk from our camping trips. All right, so under this deck lid is where I keep a lot of really cool stuff, but let's start back here in the very back. So there's a little pull-up panel right here. Down here I have a power inverter. It's kind of redundant now that I've got the Jackery, but what are you gonna do? I've got the owner's manual for my car, some rubberized work gloves, a pair of goggles, ear protection, and then down at this end, pack of weatherproof matches. In this side pocket over here, I have a little pouch. Now what this is it's a pack of mosquito netting. It's a very fine mesh that is designed to go over the doors of the car. So if I am in a position where I'm stuck, say, maybe I wrecked out in a field somewhere and I'm stuck there for a little bit. Or if I'm just car camping, I can take these, slide them over the doors, over the top of the doors, and I can roll the windows all the way down. And as long as it's not raining, I don't have to worry about water coming in. These will protect me against insects while allowing air to flow in the car. I keep those in the side pocket. That's where I usually keep my ratchet straps. So now we can take a look at what's under this deck. Opening the deck, pull that off here. All right, so you can see I've got the usual assortment of goodies. I have a tire tool. I have a bag of tools. All assortment. And these go very well down in this tire well. Don't forget about your tire well when you're looking for places in your vehicle to put the things that you need. I've got a tow strap over here. I've got my jumper cables over here. But I've also got a couple of other cool things that are stashed up in here. This is an outdoor double bed mosquito net. This is a large mosquito net that I can either throw over an area where I might be sleeping, or I can probably throw it over part of the car. And then, last but not least, I have my cool weather sleeping bag. It's just tucked down in here in a little notch. This one is comfort rated 40 degrees and survival rated at 20. And it comes in a nice little cinch sack that I keep somewhat loose But if I needed to find more space for it, I could always cinch it down a little bit more and cram it in there. So that is the assortment of gear that I have in my car. It's functional, but it also works well for survival situations. One of the fun things with doing something like this is coming up with ideas for new things that I can fit in the space that I've got. I try to make it all fit as best as possible so that the deck isn't bulging up or it's not obvious that there's a bunch of stuff crammed in here. But I think that with what I keep in here, I could probably survive for a few days out of my car if the event presented itself. Now, of course, you haven't seen what's in the drive-out kit. That's a whole nother thing, but I would like to hear your thoughts about the equipment that I've got in here. Is there something that I've forgotten? Is there something that maybe you noticed, like a little empty space where something would fit just right in there? I do have one thing that I've taken out of the car. I have an e-tool that I used recently, and it got extremely dirty, and it needed to be oiled, so it's actually in the garage getting ready for me to work on that. So if you notice that there's no digging tool in there, that's why. So what I forget, what needs to go in here? Tell me about it in the comments below. Keep in mind though, here's the challenge that I give you before you comment on something that I might have forgotten. I need you to also look at the space that has been used and where it should go. If there's something that you think I can get rid of and put something better in its place, I'd love to hear about it. That'd be a great discussion to have. So that's it for this video, and now I gotta go in and put all this stuff back. That's gonna be fun. Please remember to help out the channel by liking this video, and if you like this content, subscribe to the channel. There's lots more. Also, don't forget to check out our Amazon wish list. If you're in a position to help out the channel, that's the best way to do it. Every one of you guys is awesome, but you're the most awesome. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for spending your time with me. And until the next video, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one that you wish existed. We'll see you around.